Blog Talk Radio.
What up, though?
Welcome to the War Room. We got Dev, Kill, Jimmy, PJ, B. Austin, the Hot Block Commander. How you wanna end a 1 or 2 hour show to keep the brain running with the premise to talk sports on a national level? Roll with the topic, sorta like the rebels. When it's game time, they like the Fab Five during prime time. Sports conglomerates speak their minds a little bit. For sports medicine and sports veterans and greats. The 4 for 26 or the war in Kuwait. It's the War Room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys diversified and educated.
What up, though? What's good, War Room family? You are once again live in the War Room, brought to you by War Room Sports on the War Room Sports Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Dev McMillan. I'm at the round table with my brothers. We got B. Austin in the building, chilling in the war wagon. Jimmy the Blueprint will be with us in just a minute. It's been another crazy week in America. Some big news dropped this week also about a new NFL partnership. So y'all know we got to talk about that. So make sure you keep it locked right here for the next 2 hours. And if you want to get in on the conversation, just make sure you sign in right now to the JW Philly Realty chat room at blogtalkradio.com/thewar room, or you could join us on Facebook or Twitter at War Room Sports. You can also call in directly in about 10 minutes when we open up the Digital Extreme Tech Hotline. That number is 323-410-0012. But before we get started, like we always do about this time, shout out to Snoop and them. But yeah, when we're not on the air during the week, man, we're not live. We want you guys to go and check out archive episodes of our show on our own network at warroomsports.com and the War Room Sports mobile app. Also on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker, Blog Talk Radio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Anchor, Overcast, Pocket Cast. You get what I'm trying to say here. And basically, most places that you do your podcast listening, we are most likely to be there. So shout out to everybody on the War Room Sports Podcast Network, the Broad Street Line, Tissue and the Tape Hip Hop Show, After Further Review, John Appetit, Quick Slants, Cover 2, and a whole lot more. But B, question for you, man. Like I said, it's been a crazy week in America. First, we had the whole Jeffrey Epstein quote-unquote suicide debacle. Then we had a police standoff in our hometown yesterday. It's wild in these American streets right now, man. What's the deal?
Yo, it's all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan. No, as far as Epstein is concerned, I've come to the understanding and realization that even in the face of inhumanity and what goes on in the American prison system, a lot of times those dudes do have a weird and sick sense of justice and right from wrong, and they really don't do much. They don't do well with chomos, and there's actually an understanding between the prison hierarchy and the corrections officers when somebody like that comes in, and no one is above their justice, as they say. So even if you got billions, you come in there and you're going to spend a long time there, and you're a child molester or a rapist, you're going to get prison justice. And, I mean, he got prison justice. It was. I think there was an understanding. In the case of our city of brotherly fellowship, I mean,
because, the conspiracy theories are flying, though. Was it prison justice, or was it this dude is about to drop the dime on a lot of big, important names in the United States type of justice? That's my question, because it's not like Bo was in like Rikers or something like that. So, he had information on Clinton, he had information on Trump, and by all accounts, he was going to be on his Nino Brown joint. If I'm going down, this is bigger than Jeffrey Epstein. If I'm going down, then I'm taking a whole lot of people with me. At least, that's the stuff that I've been hearing. So it kind of feeds into the conspiracy narrative that's been floating around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It probably wasn't a suicide, and if he got knocked off, it wasn't just regular old prison justice. It was
and that goes to the sickness. that goes to the sick part that I just mentioned. And sick justice, like if you need to get someone roofed, you can probably do it for about $50-$60 and some crackers in there. So he might have got roofed. And then our city of brotherly love. And I fully expected the dude to lose his life because when you shoot police, we all know who the biggest and strongest gang in America is. They don't take too kindly to that, and he himself still may get roofed at some point, but I expected the SWAT team to go in there and air him out.
My man backed down the whole PPD for a good 8 hours yesterday. It was kind of amazing to see. I absolutely hated the street reaction from it. All you saw, because we ain't living in this new day of social media, so all the thugs and the hood cats took to the internets to talk about how salute to him and F the police and all that kind of stuff. But more than that, I was surprised by, and not much surprises me in today's society, but I guess we're so desensitized to gun violence at this point. Every video, every photo, every news report, every piece of media that I saw about this situation, the streets were flooded with people. You expect if there's a shootout going on with the police and somebody else for hours on end, you kind of expect the streets, back when people were smart, you kind of expect the streets to be empty, right? Every video you see of this, it's not like it's a shootout. It's like a music festival or something. Or they moved the Greek picnic down Erie Avenue or something, but the streets were flooded with people. The cops couldn't even back people up. I saw one video, you hear gunfire erupting in the background. People are on the corner with their phones out, live, narrating the whole thing. Cops telling them to back up. They telling cop FOH and all this, tell me what to do, this and that. He's trying to back you up for your own safety so you don't get shot. But y'all rather crowd on the corner and crack jokes and narrate for the Facebook Live while there's gunfire going on in the background. Like, what is wrong with humans today, B? And we gotta start a GoFundMe, man, because it's taking us a little too long to gather up this money that we need to finish this spaceship. I gotta get out of here, man. I'm done with Earth things, man. Earth, I've done enough. I'm limited on what I can do on Earth from here on.
Yeah, definitely. The podcast and our children are probably crowning achievements. Like, look, dude, I don't got no more to give to you human beings, man. And shout out to Jeff Bezos because he's making a big bet on interstellar travel and space travel. I don't know where we're traveling to, but he is big on the spaceships, and I'm with him because, are we that desensitized that we think we're living inside of a video game where if you get shot, you'll get another life? Like, that's the only thing I can, like, do you think when you get banged out, like, you're going to magically reappear? Oh, I got 7 lives, I'm good. Huh? What are you doing? What are you people doing?
It was like a music festival or something, man. Just people walking around freely, upset because they can't get past the police barricades to get home in some instances. I'm like, they are, like, there's a war going on up the street, and you can hear it in the video. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Earthlings, do not take me to your leader. Take me to the nearest craft that can get me the hell out of here, man.
The Earthlings, do not take me to your leader, Donald Trump. I'm cool.
Do not.
Me out of here.
This world is crazy. All right, man. So let's get into some hot topics, man. We'll probably get back to some of the nonsense happening in America in a little while, especially, give Jimmy a chance to get some of his bars off when he comes on. But hot topics, as usual, brought to you by MyBookie. Let's talk real quick before we get started, guys, about how much cash you can make sports betting at MyBookie. sports is pretty much now a 24/7 thing. And if you don't believe me, turn on ESPN or something at 3:30. It's bound to be something on. Probably something you don't like, but it's bound to be something on. Cricket, women's softball. I don't know. Anyway, if you still at this point haven't checked out my bookie, especially if you're a degenerate gambler, we don't know what you're waiting for. You can lay down some cash on the biggest games in sports. Join us and thousands of other online players placing bets at mybookie.ag. If you guys are tired of getting the runaround from those other services when it's time for a payout, this is why we urge you to give MyBookie a try. If you win, they pay fast, no hassles. You're basically wasting your time betting anywhere else. They even have in-game live betting, so you can place wagers after the game starts. So join now, and MyBookie will match your first deposit up to $1,000. Just use the promo code WARROOM, WARROOM, all caps, to activate this offer. Visit mybookie.ag today. Play, win, get paid. Period. All right, let's talk some NFL news real quick, B. A report came out earlier in the week. The Cowboys have some contract situations going on right now. You got Zeke holding out. Amari has to get his bread, and most importantly for the Cowboys, I guess, Dak Prescott has to get his bread. So the negotiations have been on. There was a report that came out earlier in the week that Dak Prescott had turned down a deal that would have paid him $30 million a year and counter-offered with $40 million a year. we definitely have to get our laughs off at the prospect. Because, I'm going to be fair to all my Cowboys fans out there that's crying every time somebody get these memes and jokes off. Like, it's been said, as a report came out that said it wasn't true. It's like, but at this point, they know that they're being trolled. So just let the people get their jokes off. But I have, the report came out and said it wasn't true. All right, $40 million, no. But I have heard a report that the actual number that they asked for was something around $34 million a year, which would make Dak Prescott the second highest paid quarterback in the league to Russell Wilson, I believe, who's at 35. Carson Wentz at 32. I think Aaron Rodgers somewhere at 34 or something like that. What are your thoughts on him even asking to be paid somewhere in the $30 million plus arena in comparison with the quarterbacks who are getting that money right now?
Dev, you've known me long enough. You know how I feel when I come talking about this bread, man. Like, I'm a stickler for value, and I'll go ahead and tell you that some of my favorite players of all time were overpaid. Like, players that I like me and Rip Hamilton are cool, like in real life. And I'll tell you, Rip was overpaid. Joe Johnson is my man. I go and watch Joe Johnson highlights. Believe you me, none of them are really dunks. But he destroys people. Joe Johnson wasn't worth no 100.
That's absolutely true, because you did that before, everybody got on the Joe Johnson train because of the big three. Like, you've been a Joe Johnson. I love Joe Johnson. I can relate. My man can't jump over a quarter, but we'll get to that later. The point I'm making is these are guys that I love and appreciate what they give to sports and their game. And I'll sit here and tell you there's no way in hell I'll pay them. So what makes you think that I'm cool with a guy who can't really throw the football with any accuracy? Hey, I'd rather pay Devin McMillan $1 million a year as my starting quarterback than give Dak Prescott $30 million to play football at quarterback. Now, in all fairness to Dak, now that I've gotten that out of the way, because I think he's a bum. He's not a bum. He's slightly above a bum. In all fairness to Dak, the way the marketplace works, he's the next in line. So if the Cowboys follow my logic, they're just going to say, yo,
we just gonna go ahead, let you ride out this contract, and we gonna franchise you because we believe cream rises to the top, and you ain't the cream, buddy. That's what I would do. That's what I think the Cowboys objectively should do. But the reality is, if they believe that he's the best out there, not the best, but the best out there for them at this time, then they got to pay that dude this money because he's next up, and that's the market. That's the going rate for a franchise starting quarterback. Not just a starting quarterback, but they believe the franchise, so they would tie him up on a long-term deal. He's going to get $32 to $35 million a year over 4 years, with at least 3 of those years guaranteed. That's the market. No matter what I think or what you think, I think it's laughable based on his skill set and talent that we would even be talking about him making more than $10 million a year.
Yeah, I'm a little bit higher on Dak Prescott than you are. I'm not. In no way am I saying I think Dak Prescott is one of those guys who deserves to be up in that upper, quote unquote, upper echelon, not echelon, that upper echelon of quarterbacks as far as his pay goes. But at the same time, I'm always an advocate for, hey, get whatever they're gonna give you. But at the same time, even though I did see Dak getting embarrassed on a video as far as his accuracy is concerned in a video with David Carr, I don't think he's as bad as you do. I also am not naive enough, with quarterbacks, they always want to give the credit of the whole team to the quarterback. So one of the big things that people like to use when they're talking about Dak Prescott is the fact that, he has 32 wins since he's been in the league, giving no credit to the roster that Jerry Jones has finally been able to put together. But at this point, for me, what I would call Dak Prescott is inconsistent. I see sometimes where I'm like, all right, Dak is starting to show his true colors. He looks like he's starting to look a little like a bum. I've seen him get out of situations where I'm not expecting him to get out of certain situations. But I've also seen it come a little easy for him in his first few years, and then the few games where he was pressed and the defense, was able to stay stout throughout the whole game and not be beat by a Zeke and especially games when Zeke wasn't even there, he starts to show, more of his flaws. But I think he's a decent quarterback. And I don't think the Cowboys in their current position is ready to just scrap Dak and start over. Right. I mean, he's good enough to get to the playoffs with right now. Who knows what happens after that? What up, Jim?
Jim Brown.
Yo, I just want to, butt in. I see we not slandering Jay yet. Happy birthday, Nip. But also, to get into the conversation y'all having, for me, Dak's talent lies somewhere in between what Dak thinks he is and what B. Austin thinks he is. It's like somewhere.
That's a big ass range. That's a big ass range.
But the fact is, he's still young. And you gotta the market is what the market is, regardless of what he will be. I'm just not ready to throw the towel away. Dak might end up being a good quarterback, or he could turn around and be poop. But that's the chance you got to take in today's NFL. Having a franchise quarterback is like paramount to winning the league, right? Or at least a quarterback that's not going to lose the game for you. So you got to pay what the market is, and you got to ride this. You got to ride it out. You got to ride it out because
that's a good point.
I'm not ready to say that.
That might actually be where he is. He's that quarterback that's not really going to lose a game for you. You know what I mean?
And that's okay, though.
My man is David Garrard.
What I'm saying is, if you build a good enough team, that's all you need to compete at a high level and win a championship. And at the same time, he could turn into something. Like Dak is right now. The jury is still out. To use a cliche, the jury is still out on Dak, in my opinion. To me, sometimes he looks like, okay, he could be a quarterback in this league, and sometimes he looks like, yo, he's trash. So but you just got to give him more time, and time will tell. Like, you know, that's the good thing about sports is you got to play the game. But at the same time, the market is what the market is.
You gentlemen have played the sport. You gentlemen have watched the sport. Damn, almost 40 years. Yo, we old as dirt. But you watch this game. I'm gonna just break it down. I'm gonna keep it real simple in football terms, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong. If when facing Dakota Prescott, if there's 8 men in the box, Dakota, he can make some throws, as you would expect from a guy that gets paid to professionally do it. If there's 6 men in the box or 5 men in the box, yo, we don't know where the ball is going or what it'll end up. Now, with Zeke Elliott on the field, how many times does Dak see 6-man fronts and 7-man fronts? There's your answer.
I mean, it's definitely a difference. So, I mean, it looks like right now, it looks like the Cowboys aren't going to acquiesce to Zeke Elliott's request. My opinion is they'll get something done because they know if they are going to pay Dakota $30 million plus, like, come on, he needs his binky back there. He needs his pacifier. So it would be stupid to pay Dak all of that money and not give him his partner in crime that's helped his success so much in his first 3 seasons. Dak reminds me a lot of Donovan McNabb, personally. I'm like body style, his playing style, the way he can keep a play alive and make a play like that sometimes, but not necessarily the most accurate, you know, things like that. He reminds me a lot of Donovan.
That's a good comparison. And the fact that the truth is about McNabb, as much as we slander McNabb wasn't a terrible quarterback. And McNabb is a guy who has a skill set that if you coach him up, you know, put him in a position to win games, he could win games. So that's actually a pretty good comparison right there. Like, if his ceiling is McNabb, I think the Cowboys are okay with that.
Right. I mean, because everybody in the division kind of they overrated what McNabb was anyway. And, you know, that might have been thanks to his partnership with Andy Reid. They just worked great together. But even from a social standpoint, you know, what the fans think of, the people who love Dak overrate him, and the people who, you know, maybe dislike Dak might act like he's worse than what he really is. So, you know, same treatment McNabb got throughout his career. So we'll see how it plays out. Just before we go on this topic, just wanted to give that list because I was just shooting off the top of the dome. But Seattle quarterback Russell Wilson, he's the league's highest player at $35 million per. Then Ben Roethlisberger at 34, followed by Aaron Rodgers at 33.5, followed by Carson Wentz at 32 million, and Matt Ryan at an even $30 million. I personally don't think Dak Prescott is better than any of those guys, but you also play for the Dallas Cowboys. We know what kind of money the Dallas Cowboys have. If I'm Dak, y'all might have laughed at me, and the reports say that it wasn't true, but if I'm Dak, I might have really went in there and asked Jarrah for $40 million.
Yeah, listen,
just
man.
to see where the chips fell.
Shout out to Russell Wilson. He just bought equity in an MLS team. So, you know, he's trying to boss up. But
and he said he's trying to play till he's 45 years old. Russell.
I don't like, you know, Russell drawn. You can't play this game to you. The game too brutal. First of all, football might not be around when he's 45 years old. But second of all,
plus
I'm not mad at that.
Kid, his son, future, want to do it one day, and you don't want to be all. My bad. And the other kid too.
I'm gonna leave them jokes alone. All I'm gonna say is, in the future, he might be playing football with his son.
Oh, bars.
I mean, you know, I kind of remixed it. That's not really mine. That's Mel's bar. But listen though,
DeMarco, the Hobie baby.
I'm not mad at the boy for asking this kind of bread. Like if you listen, man, you get what the market is and what you can negotiate. So salute to him for having the audacity to do that.
Yeah, the audacity to know you're going to get laughed at, but you got to aim high, man. Aim high.
I hate to have to be effective and call it what it is. Like, yo, he really probably probably should get something north of 32. But, yo, I'm not. Come on, man. I'm not. Yo,
I'm not even saying that. But
And by the way,
like, who's he better than is getting 32? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying aim high, young man.
Salute to Russell Wilson.
Dom DeMarco.
Yo. Salute to Russell Wilson for going from a Becky to a Sierra. You all right in my book. Next to Colin Kaepernick.
All right, so young man Antonio Brown has lost his grievance against the NFL to wear his old helmet. Remember last week he had threatened if he didn't get to wear his old helmet, he was going to retire from football. So those threats fell on deaf ears because nobody really cared. They said no, and he's not going anywhere. The only reason he's not playing right now is because his feet look like he walked through a minefield with no socks on in the middle of Vietnam. But anyway, one day after he lost that grievance, his agent, of course, Drew Rosenhaus, said that he had located versions of his preferred helmet model that had been manufactured in the last 10 years and was working with the NFL to get it cleared. So he's found like newer versions of, you know, his old helmet that he's trying to get cleared now. So he's basically in a second holding pattern waiting on the NFL to make a decision on that. What do y'all think about this whole thing? I wasn't here last week to hear y'all talk about this whole thing, but as usual, you know, you see people on social media jumping to his defense, but it seems like when people defend people on social media, it seems like they don't even care to get all the details, to know all the facts, because most of the people that I saw defending him was like, well, I mean, he cares about his safety, so, you know, that's important. But I thought the reason why they wouldn't allow for him to wear this helmet is because it's not as safe as the new models. Not saying that the NFL cares, but after, you know, Will Smith and them exposed the NFL for, you know, what they were doing, shout out to Dr. Smith,
yeah.
The NFL has to at least look like they care now. So they have to be, you know, with the safety, with the products and all that kind of stuff. So how are you defending him talking about, well, is his head, he needs to be safe, and they're trying to get him to wear something safe?
I think Bull is the best wide receiver in the NFL. I put him in the Floyd Mayweather category.
Yo, I hate like this.
Tell the truth.
Why is it the receivers that are always divas, though? I swear, we always say, receiver, in my opinion, is the most dependent position, not just in football, but probably in all of sports. So how did these dudes become, you know, this? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's all. Listen, it's either receivers or cornerbacks who are receivers that can't catch. So
right.
It's always one of the two. But I think that he just overplayed his hand. I feel like he thought everybody was going to jump on his side and everybody was going to go against the league. And a lot of people did, like you said, without like. Yeah, I think a lot of people did without getting more information, but that's called the internet. Like, fact of the matter is, man, the new water cooler, the new street corner is the internet. That's where everybody hangs out and gets the information. And the internet is a dirty place where people don't do like research or try to get facts. It's just all emotions and feelings, which is why someone who is likes to be fact based, you're kind of the weirdo on the internet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you come to the internet with facts, you're the weirdo. Like, because it's like nobody told you to look that up. You know what I mean? But fact of the matter is, man, he played himself. He overplayed his hand. This boy is his own worst enemy because his brand is complete trash. And he's a hell of a receiver. He worked his way. He worked he worked crazy. A couple of years ago, nobody knew who he was. He put himself on the map, made himself a fan favorite, beloved, and he ruined all of that within like a year. He ruined all of it.
Yo, he was like second fiddle to cats like he was like second fiddle to cats like Mike Wallace, who ain't never been
he ruined all that
speed.
He all that equity he built up, he ruined all of it. And like, I just don't know I don't know what he's trying to accomplish. Or maybe he's trying to be the bad guy, but he's not good at it.
I mean, at least Jerry Rice waited till retirement to put a chicken wing in his helmet. But
yo.
Coon Train is coming.
I ain't say that.
man.
I don't throw that word around lightly no more, man. It used to be the funniest thing.
What about black on black crime?
You could throw it around lightly with him. My man dyed his mustache blonde. Come on, man. And cut his
Yo,
beard
I
out.
ain't talking about him. I'm talking about Jerry. Jerry would put a chicken wing in his face. Like how
For a
decide,
check.
Like, yo, I will never understand that. I will never understand that. At
He
no
put a wing
point
ding in his
did
face
he like, yo,
mask
maybe
for
I should. At no point did he say I probably shouldn't be doing this.
Which one was worse, Jim? Was it him putting the wing ding in his mask, or was it Mary J. Blige standing on top of the table singing about chicken?
yo,
them
they
chicken
stay
checks,
close.
boy. Them chicken checks must be
They
decent.
close. Yo,
Or they
they
come
close,
with
but
like a
Jerry's
lifetime
might be worse.
supply of chicken.
Yo,
they can get us
but
off a
Jerry's
lifetime
might be worse
supply.
because that one picture where he got the helmet on and he's smiling behind the chicken wing, like he looks like a straight
Right.
Sambo.
That's true because with Mary, right at this point is legend. Like it was true. I saw the video, but at this point, when you search for it, I don't know if you can still find the video. You can still find the song where she was, blowing
Mary had
about
that thing
chicken.
scrubbed.
But yeah, Mary definitely had his scrub. So the fact that Jerry's photo will live in infamy, you're gonna be able to find it on the internet anytime you look for it. That could possibly be worse.
Yo, my man Jerry Rice killed his entire career. We can't even respect him as the Jimmy took him off the top of the list. He's not even the best wide receiver.
And he might very well, if there is one, he might very well be the greatest football player of all time. But like when you lose respect for somebody,
I used to make
it's difficult.
that's the argument I used to make.
When you use respect as a
I used to
man.
make the argument that he was the single best football player ever, but now he don't exist, so it don't even matter.
It is very difficult to acknowledge people when you lose respect for them as a man. That's crazy.
He don't exist, man.
All right, let's get into this next thing, and then we'll take some calls on this because I know some people want to holler at us about this. So, the Colin Kaepernick saga takes another turn, and it takes a turn in the form of universally loved, at least by the brothers and sisters and the hives, Jay-Z, Sean Carter, Hovey Baby, Jovito, but Jay-Z and his Rock Nation Entertainment Company.
That's his worst moniker, yo. I said, Ola Jovito has to be his worst moniker.
Ola Jovito. I'm telling you, I think, speaking of, like, that album had to feature some of his worst songs and his best songs. But crazily enough, people look at that as like a perfect masterpiece. I don't know. Hovey got he got a spell over people, but look like this week his spell might be wearing off a little bit. I haven't seen it on my personal timelines. Like, they still riding for Hovey Baby. But Jay-Z and his Rock Nation Entertainment Company has signed a deal with the NFL to basically partner up and be the league's, decision maker on entertainment at events. So Super Bowl halftime shows, things of that nature. And then there's this component in the deal, supposedly, at least, what they're telling us, is that there's going to be some social initiatives. The league's Inspired Change Initiative for Social Justice. He's going to help amplify what they're doing with that. The opportunity, they said, to potentially accomplish big things and uplift many in communities was important to Jay-Z and was an opportunity that he couldn't ignore. Now, while he's saying that, there's many out there, including the Colin Kaepernick camp, and let me, preface this by saying, when we say that, the Colin Kaepernick camp doesn't really include Colin Kaepernick. It's his girlfriend Nessa and his homeboy Angry Eric Reed, because they're the only ones who ever speak out when any of this type of stuff happens. They basically saying, along with a whole lot of other people, especially the Twitter community, saying FOH to Jay, we don't believe you. You need more people, in his famous words.
I see what you did there.
So what was your first? Jay-Z says will and will argue you down that this has nothing to do with the Cap situation. Cap not even mad. The tweet that Cap sent yesterday, right after it happened, wasn't a shot at Jay-Z. Shout out to my man DJ Willie G. He's clueless.
I'm gonna break this down, and I'm not even gonna go with the Colin Kaepernick angle because my man speaks about as much as Kawhi Leonard. In fact, they probably cover. Yo, the problem, and let's break down what the real problem is amongst black people. Sean Carter, the optics that he gives America, he represents ashy to classy. He represents the quintessential American dream. You grew up between Marcy Projects and Tompkins in Brooklyn, scum of the earth, drug dealing, whatever, and you have grown through hip-hop, through rap music, to be a mogul, to be worth $1 billion. For black people, where black has somehow, in a lot of ways, become synonymous with poor, a poor person is the worst thing you can be in a capitalist society. It just is. So one of the agendas of white supremacy is to make black people or being black synonymous with being poor, which we know it's not, but that's perception is reality. So for a lot of black folks, Sean Corey Carter has stepped out of and stepped over the stigma of being poor and black. He's from the hood. They try and relate to him. They love when he brags. And he is representative of the black American dream. And so whatever he does, he's got defenders because they ultimately say, look, I can get rich in America too. And that's what it really boils down to. So they ignore whether he's right or wrong, or even the analytical thinking, not saying he's wrong, but the analytical thinking that comes along with really objectively looking at something. They like, nah, Jay did it. It must be right. Look, he's rich. And that's what it is, man. That's what it is.
So my whole thing with this, and y'all know I always go back to this because I argued this for months after it happened. My whole thing with this is there's a lot of people, and we already know this because we speak on it every day, no matter what the form is. Everybody argues things depending on their personal level of affection, the topic of the argument. I'm gonna need. I don't care what Jay-Z did. Jay-Z, in my opinion, did what Jay-Z has been telling you he does from day one of us knowing Jay-Z. Jay-Z is a capitalist. You know what I'm saying?
Dumb down his lyrics to double his dollar?
Exactly. Jay-Z will do what it takes to double his dollars. I'm not mad at him for doing some of this stuff. Some of the optics of it, oh yeah, definitely suspect in some of the optics. I mean, because Jay-Z was the main person out in the forefront wearing Cap jerseys last season, telling other artists, lesser artists who could use the bump from Super Bowl type exposure, telling them cats not to play the Super Bowl for whatever reason, and then he turns around and cuts a deal with the same people for basically the same reason. Like he's gonna have a say in who's entertaining what and where, Super Bowls and whatever. So the optics do look messed up, but at the same time, like I said, like Jay-Z tells you in every half a bar, what he is, what he's about, what he's always been about. So I can't get mad at him about that. But I take issue with the defenders in this one. And the defenders, I think they need to keep that same energy that they came at with Malcolm Jenkins when he was tired of kneeling and wanted to go out and do some action, because Jay-Z's whole thing, it's become so much about action and activism over the last 24 hours that people forget that the deal is really an entertainment deal. It's really an entertainment consultant type deal. I think he's getting off lucky with the fact that people has made it about the activism. So at least he gets a chance to say, we were tired of kneeling, we got to take some action. Which is it's fine with me, but I just need y'all to keep that same energy, because when Malcolm Jenkins went out there and grabbed a bag from the league, and it wasn't even, and this is the part people don't understand. He didn't get a check. He got money earmarked. The dude really didn't get a dime. We love to get these jokes off, no doubt, and we're going to keep getting the jokes off. But dude didn't get a dime. He got money earmarked from all the other causes the NFL act like they care about every day. You know, that's going to go to black causes and that his foundation likes every year. So let me let Jimmy get his off.
Here's my perspective.
Y'all got to keep that same energy.
B. Austin, you got to keep that same energy, too, because I saw you call the boy a straight sellout. You kind of, like, fell back a little bit in your analysis. I want you to keep that same sellout energy.
He was tearing him apart.
I want you to keep that. I want you to keep them same sellout bars. But my point is this, though. I don't even look at him as being a sellout. I do agree with Deb that it's an apology, because if it's what's the other cliche? Because we're going to kick these cliches tonight. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander, whatever that is. You can't like disparage.
I don't even know what a gander is.
Then like, yo, what is a gander, by the way? Anybody listening? Oh, that's what it is.
Oh, that's what that. I never knew that.
Yo,
they was all geese.
Cliche, you say it. Yo, gets a gander. Anyway, but the bottom line is, man, like you. Yo, she got that gander. Yo, that's like that's a fire analogy for a woman region. Like, what's up with that gander? But anyway, listen. Getting back to the point, though, right? The bottom line is like, there's so many different things. Like this whole topic is interesting to me for a lot of reasons. For one, I agree. You can't be mad at him. Like, I'm not mad at the boy, but I do see people that are. Here's about. Let me back up a second. You can be a fan of someone and not agree with all of their moves. That's like logical. That's normal. But in 2019, people act as if you're a fan of someone, you have to go with everything they do, whether it's right or wrong. You got to take a side. Right?
He slapped your mama. You got to defend why he slapped your mama. There are people throughout American history that I love and admire, like whether it's a Malcolm X or an Elijah Muhammad or a Martin Luther King or Fred Hampton. And I read their works and study what they do. I don't agree with everything they do, and some things I vehemently disagree with. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't mean that I love them any less. So people, when you're a fan of someone, even if you're a Jay-Z stickler fan, it's okay to say that he's wrong in this regard. I'm not saying he's wrong because I don't think there's anything wrong with what he's doing. Because part of me But if you crapped on Malcolm Jenkins, then you think he's wrong, and you're not being honest with yourself.
And that's all. That's my whole point. My whole point is, like, we have so many issues in this country, and there's different ways to attack it, and that's something that I learned, with maturity as well. Because I'm a person that does a lot of community work. I sit on the boards of community organizations, and I used to be one of these guys where it's like, if you don't agree with my message of trying to improve our community, then FOH. As you get older, you realize that as long as you care about our people and you're trying to do something, even if we disagree on how we're moving, listen, everybody got a part to play. Back to yours, to quote Mel himself. So Cap can do it his way. Mel can do it his way. As long as they're both working for the betterment of our people. But at the same time, the other part of this that's interesting to me is, because Jay-Z does have sickle fans, I've never seen this many people go at his neck. Now, Dev, you need to scrub your friends list, because I was on the tweets, and they was giving him all kinds of, like, slander. I was like, I've never seen this. Yeah,
the tweets were crazy. My friends list is like, the Jay-Z fan club. Like I said, like, there were a few, it probably was like 95% to 5% in favor of Jay-Z. talking about this on my timeline in the past 24 hours. Now, the bold 5% of the people on my timeline who were, actually having the nerves and the gall and the guts to slander Jay publicly, it was like running up to the roof and shining the Koloff bat light, the bat signal, for all the Koloffs to come to your status and just kill you and drag you and defend. And I know who's who. Like I've had the Malcolm Jenkins argument with so many different people. I know who's who. So I know who's out there faking. A couple of them got called out. You know who you are, homie. But a couple of people got called out because I just don't understand how you can, everybody called this man a sellout, a coon, and every part of his deal was for the betterment of black people. But people didn't like it because it wasn't Cap's plan, which is a plan that I still don't know what it's about. I don't know Cap's end game. I don't know Eric Reed's end game. I don't know Nessa's end game right now besides getting mad at everybody who does something different than Cap off of Cap's momentum. Like, we will give him that credit from to the day we die. He started this momentum, especially in the NFL. Because the NFL, it's weird to me how they even became the poster children of social justice and police brutality. But since we got them on the hook and they like giving out money, we're going to keep pressing the NFL. But like Jimmy said, if you do it a different way, like, you can't get mad at that. Everybody's still doing something positive.
Yeah, as long as you're doing something positive. But here's my thing, though.
Jay definitely getting a bag, though, with his. But
dog, on Twitter, though, they was taking shots at Jay on Twitter like Maurice Hill. And the fact is, I've never seen that. I've never seen him get slandered that way, which is crazy to me. But Dev, I got a question for you. Who's more angry, Eric Reed or Imani Bates?
Imani Bates might be his seed, and we don't know it.
He might be.
He might have passed down.
He might be because
symbiosis. He might have spewed anger into his mom or something. I don't know. Imani Bates is way too young and way too talented to be as angry as he is, but maybe that's what's fueling him.
And it's crazy
somebody's
because
gonna knock
with this
both
whole
of these
Jay
cats
thing,
out.
I hear the thing. First of all, we live in a society where people worship celebrity, and I use that word celebrity loosely because you could be a D-list celebrity and you still have people. We live in a society where people literally follow each other, and it's like no qualm about it. So you had some people who were influencers who kind of started going in on Jay, and that's what started this whole thing off. So one of them being Talcum X. So
right.
The brother Sean King, he let his hands go. Jamel wrote a piece this morning, and she got her own following. So that's
you
kind
can
of
still
why.
see, Jim, the respect level with Jay, though, because people will let their hands go on him, and then at the end be like, but I'm still a fan of Jay-Z, and I love what he's doing, and he did this, and I'm like, that y'all just can't get it off without.
Because within that industry, and it's funny, right? Because you talk about listening to his lyrics. So I watch a lot of Jay-Z interviews, and when you watch his interviews, he's pretty much doing everything he said. He said in an interview before that he looks at entertainment as being the black man's natural resource, and his goal is to get power within the industry. And he's pretty powerful within the entertainment industry in all aspects, in terms of music, athletics, the culture. He's one of the most powerful people in the culture, to the point where people are almost scared to speak out against him. But my thing is, and I get it, because sometimes if we're staying on code, you don't come out and say it. You call them and you say it. You check them yo, dog, what you doing or whatever. And kudos to Charlamagne, because Charlamagne straight asked him, yo, you selling out the ball? You know what I mean? But
people who hate Charlamagne, man, I think Charlamagne is the most. I think he's the realest person in the media industry, man. Because he can profess his love for you, and that's an example of what Jimmy said earlier. Because Charlamagne professes his love for Jay-Z all the time. You know what I'm saying? He's always wearing a paper plane hat in the studio. But when it comes to his job and what he has to do, knowing that some people out there want to know the answers to these questions, Charlamagne will ask you stuff that might and has in the past got him punched in the face. But
he was going at Dapper Neck a little bit, like, yo, ain't you selling out? But
yeah,
but he did,
like, he's not afraid to ask you that.
My thing is, yo, that's the way it should be. I don't want people around me or friends that can't check me.
Yes,
you know what
man.
I'm saying? Like
whole bunch of yes, man.
Dev checked me several times, like, yo, why you posting that shit online talking about how much bread you get? You playing yourself. And I was like, yo, let me take this down. Like,
if you don't have that though, like, what do you have? Like, seriously,
but that's what it's supposed to do. You're supposed to have people that check you. But we live in a world where people don't do that. People feel like you have to agree and move with like someone that you care. Like that's just it's just real weird to me. But as I take a step back and look at it, we live in a world where people literally follow each other. Like that's a thing. Like people said, look, Facebook has friends. We just want to make y'all followers.
That's great, yo. It's me to say I got followers or I follow him. Huh?
I try not to.
But that's the world we live in.
No, me. I
so
try to. I'm big on semantics. I try not to use certain words whenever I can avoid it. Whenever I can avoid it, man.
Yeah, like, oh, yo,
I don't use the word. I try to use the
Twitter.
word support. Even when it comes to us, like I don't be out there and be like, yeah, man, to all our fans, I'll be like, we call them supporters. Because I don't want to sun you just like I don't want to be sunned. You know what I mean?
I don't want to be.
That's to me, that's what they are, though. People are support. Like anybody listens to us and likes our page and all that. I appreciate it because people listen, man. It's a fight for people's attention these days, and you could be doing like we have people like shout to people in our chat room, shout to Neil, like those people are there every week, and like I appreciate that.
Family.
Exactly, but that's why I don't use those words either. But I think it's interesting that Facebook, Facebook has friends. You don't
that's why
like the page.
That's why Court is my man, $50,000. No matter how much he make me tear my eyes out at his posts. You know what I mean? I might be blind at this point, but that's still my man. I'm just gonna be blind, rolling with my man Court.
And what I'm
it's funny where this conversation is going. It's funny where this conversation is going because the three people on this podcast are probably much, much bigger Jay-Z fans than the dick riders that are out here swallowing for him on this.
Definitely much earlier.
I know every Jay-Z lyric from Reasonable Doubt through the Black Album. Not literally, but all his good songs anyway. But that doesn't mean
that
know
the bad ones too. They played them the most. They played the bad ones the most. Yeah, they played them, John.
I'm not going to call off, but dude, I definitely appreciate the Charlamagne point. I don't call him Charlamagne the you know what, but you got to be objective, man. You have to.
Yeah, we are with semantics. Like we refuse to say certain things. Like me. Love Jay-Z. Have always loved you. I refuse to call Jay-Z Hov. I refuse. I'm not calling that man Hov. Or Hova. So if you hear me say something if you hear me say some variation of Hova, Hovito, I'm being facetious. I just want y'all to know that. And it's crazy because when you're being facetious, you're not supposed to tell the world that you're being facetious. But I'm going to let you know that because I know that a lot of y'all ain't that bright. A lot of y'all ain't that bright, so I just got to let you know. I'm being facetious if anything Hov related comes out of my mouth.
But you know what? Like this thing is deeper. It's deeper than this conversation, B. Austin, because this is like it's invaded our entire world. Our culture is this thing where you have to be 100 behind someone or not. Even to our politics, to our president, whether we're talking about the last president, 44 or 45, it's like, yo, I'm all in. Like the thing is, I remember being critical of Obama and people coming at my neck, and I'm like, yo,
they tried to kill you.
Like I thought we could do that.
Like come on, cuz.
You elect somebody, you hold them accountable. I thought we were able to do that. For me, I don't know what it is to be all in. I mean, I guess, other than, friendship and family and stuff like that. And even that, like Jimmy said, like you still don't have a friend or a family member if they can't be honest with you about stuff and check you. Like if you're just a yes person, what are you doing to help the life of the person that you yesing all the time?
Yeah, that's
I just
trash,
never
man.
got that. if y'all listen to this podcast over the past 9.5 years, y'all know every once in a while, y'all know we don't agree on everything. Y'all know that it can get to a blow up or whatever,
Oh, yeah,
and then we switch
crazy.
the topic, and it's easy. I think a lot of people can't have conflict without holding grudges about it. And they don't know, like, we talk on different, we talk on probably like 4 or 5 different platforms per day with different groups of people. Yo, we can have a knockdown, drag-out argument, and at the same time we're doing that, since we live in this digital world, we could be on another text talking about, like, you know, what time you and the fan this weekend. Like, but I don't think a lot of people can compartmentalize like that, and that's why everybody feels the need to take sides.
But to me, that was like the bigger issue with this whole Jay-Z thing. That's the one thing I saw. I think was like the deeper conversation of, like, you can be a fan of someone and not just 100% agree with what they do. Like, I don't think I know at least Dev's perspective. We don't care what Jay-Z does. I saw B. Austin call him a straight sellout. I don't know if he's keeping that same energy, but my thing is the bigger conversation is like, dog, like, we're all human. Like, it's okay to disagree with him, and guess what? If he does something great with this whole opportunity, it's okay to change your mind too. It's okay to say, damn, well, he pulled that off. Like it's okay to get more information and change your mind, but it's also okay to be kind of critical and try to, you know, call to the carpet. Like, what are you really doing? There's nothing wrong with
Plus,
that.
I can't be on the holier than thou because of the NFL. The biggest sports entity in America came to War Room Sports with some kind of partnership bag. Come on, man. I'm messing with you, Cat.
I'll be like, I'll be on my,
come on.
I'll be on my Tyreek. I'll be on my Tyreek from the Roots, John. Cut the check.
Right. I'd be like, how many Papa John pizzas you want me to bring to the meeting? Like, come on, man.
Cut the check.
Y'all can coon trade me all y'all want. But it's different. Like, people like to just throw that around, and it's not even like that or about that. But we just got to be real here. So saying all of that, I think I can sit here and say, you know, I don't think, you know, I'm not mad at anything Jay-Z said. I can say that and be honest because I had the same energy the last time. But there's no way that you're going to be in a conversation with me and I'm going to let it slide that you called Malcolm Jenkins a sellout for getting money for black causes, but you're okay with Jay-Z partnering with to be the entertainment consultant after he done told a bunch of people not to deal with the NFL on that level. Like, nah, you're not going to do that. Like, you're not going to do that and not get checked about it. So, you know, I can sit here and tell you about that and then tell you, oh, by the way, I don't think he did anything wrong, but I'm just not going to let people do that in front of me. That's corny.
This might be a little too deep. This might be a little too deep for right now, but when you're
keeping the same energy, though. He called both of them sellouts.
For a cause, but Camel been sold out. Brother Malcolm got to change his first name. He can't walk around with that name. But if you're accepting dollars from folks that are part of a power structure that doesn't really bang with you, isn't that kind of like accepting charity? That's like the missionaries going into Africa and bringing. Never mind. I'm going too far with it.
Yo, I listen. I get what you're saying, right? But I guess that's
you know where I'm going.
Like,
what if you're use their money against the structure?
Yeah. What if you're the spook who's set by the door, though? So I guess do the ends justify the means, right? If I'm going through the door, right? Because I know I'm a token, but I'm bringing 50 people with me. Like, but that's just a matter of perspective. Some people will say, no matter what you do, you know, the coon train is coming, and some will say, okay, that's the move. So my point in saying that is, like, for instance, right, Thurgood Marshall and Malcolm X used to, like, really dislike each other because they had a difference of opinion. Malcolm, you know, at the time was talking about complete separation. Thurgood felt like you get into the system and you work from within the system. But at the end of the day, my whole point is,
how did it work out for Thurgood? And respect to the brother.
How to work out for Malcolm? No, but my thing is how to work out for either one of them.
Both dead.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, some will say one ended with a bullet in his head and the other one didn't. So I mean, it all depends upon how you. Again, it's a matter of perspective. But my point is, they both wanted to do what they considered the right thing for their people. You know what I mean? Like, so it all depends upon how you look at it. I get your point though, but if you're the spook who stepped out the door and you're trying to work within the system, and I don't even know that that's what he's doing. He could just be enriching himself. Like, we don't know. But another point about this whole story.
See, that's the thing, though. That's why I told y'all earlier, Jim and B. I think Jay is kind of getting off easy in the fact that the conversation is about social activism. I think he's getting off easy about that. Like, even if that was not even a part of it, and we're gonna tie that in with our quote of the week. We're gonna tie that in. But even if that wasn't a part of it, and Jay was just partnering with them to get another bag for Rock Nation, I'm still not mad at him. And it's not because I'm a Jay-Z sycophant, because while I'm not mad at him, I can still sit there and give you another perspective and tell you why people that are mad at him are mad at him. So yeah, I can do that. Just for me, it's just not a big deal in the fact that Jay-Z from 1994 on has told you exactly what Jay-Z is. Don't let this, go ahead.
My thing is, I don't know. Maybe he could just be enriching himself. Maybe he's not. Who knows? Time will tell. But the one thing about this whole story that also this made clear to me is that Robert Kraft is the most powerful owner in the league. Like, we can look at Jerry Jones as being like that guy. I think Robert Kraft has surpassed him.
But you know why?
This is even another
genuine or not. Robert Kraft ain't afraid to quote unquote cross the aisle because he right now even if it's an act, he's acting like he likes black people. So if he can get the power from where he is and then come out and get the crossover power, Jerry can't mess with that.
I think he's past Jerry in terms of power, and this is even more power. Like, I mean, Robert Kraft out here wearing the Dream Chasers chain, and he probably told them behind closed doors, "So watch you I bring to the next meeting."
Right.
Like, cause even Jay-Z even admitted, like, the reason he came is because of the relationship he's built with Robert Kraft. So this is also a power move from him. He's clearly the most powerful owner in the NFL at this point.
Jay-Z is a never mind.
Say what you gotta say, brother. This is the war room.
Jay-Z is set out. Robert Kraft is homies with number 45. Like not just regular, I know him, I lobby for him. Like, no, that's my homie. Come over. Let's hang out. Let's
to the sticky together.
Let's get massages from 14-year-old Asian women together. Like, that's how close.
You trying to say they be in the washy-washy?
The washy-washy, the sticky, and the shaky.
Love you a long time.
Shout out to the washy-washy on 11th Street, allegedly. Yo, real quick, though. My thing is this, right? I can't even be mad at that either, though, B. Austin, because, I mean, Chick-fil-A supports 45, and I don't care what they do. Like, they just go out to support 45.
Man, Chick-fil-A can support smacking my whiz.
Although Popeye's on their top right now, though. I just got to put that out there. But go ahead, though.
Overall, though, or just on that one joint? I'm going to taste it probably.
Not overall. That Popeye, listen, though, that Popeye's chicken sandwich is something special, dog. Like, like I told my man Roy, shout out to Roy from John Appetit. I told him, like, yo, man, if it ain't better than Big, it's the closest one, to quote our current topic. I'm going to check it probably, I'm going to say Saturday for lunch. Tomorrow I got a doctor's appointment. You got to go in there with your blood work all the way right. You got to have your weight everywhere. You got to work out before I go. You got to get filthy after you leave there.
Right. Then, but I can't because on Saturday I got a suit fitting for y'all man Mike's wedding.
Oh, okay.
So I gotta do that.
Okay.
But after the suit fitting, it's ignorance. It's on.
It's on.
It's on. I'm gonna be in the car driving back with like double fisting 2 sandwiches. Just because y'all said it was
that joint is fire. That joint is
all
fire.
All right, let's go to the phone line, man, because I know Tobias probably cursing us out. Probably been cursing us out for a long time. Let's let him get his 2 cents in on this. Tobias, what's going on, good brother?
Good hell, man.
Hey, man, sometimes we just got to get our bars off, man.
Hey, man. Post me
now
at
it's your
work,
turn.
B. Hey, get this. First things first.
I posted about that on B. Austin's page. I got to say to B. Austin, he has some very inboxable friends. That's all I got to say. You know?
Yo,
you got some.
I don't know from what he is speaking of. I love you, Lisa.
Go to his IG page and see who he follows there. Oh my God!
Hey, all I got to say, but before I touch on Jay real quick, Dak Prescott got to get over $30 million because Kirk Cousins and Jimmy G get damn near $30 million. Dak should get it. Oh yes, by the way,
Jimmy G got $30 million for a porn star date. My man got $30 million to make movies.
Yo,
and mind you, he also threw 5 straight picks and 5 straight throws in practice. I never heard of that before. But so that's why I think Dak should get it. But like when it comes to like Jay-Z, right? Here's the thing. It's all you need to know about this thing. White people in wedlock love it. That's all you need to know.
Then it's a problem.
But here's the thing though. I'm tired of black folks it's time to deeper issue celebrating charity. These owners, right, of all these sports leagues got local and the damn president number on speed dial. You mean to tell me that some of these folks be like, hey man, I don't know if they tried it, so if they ever tried, I retract it. Talk. Get them on the phone and say, can we meet up?
Tobias, you damn near part of the show now, so you get interrupted. I get where you're coming from, and I'm 110% on your side. But what you talking, less than 1/10 of 1% of your audience to understand what you're saying. They don't even know what you're talking about. They don't even understand what you're saying.
Yeah, because here's the thing. This is the oldest trick by white supremacy ever. Hey, we'll throw the colored some money, put in some programs, and they'll shut up. How long have we had damn programs, but we ain't got policy? That's when you have to say
they ain't got no wealth either.
Yeah,
you trying to say that's how the NAACP got started? Is that what you're saying?
And the HBCUs also. Hey, and the HBCUs.
Possums.
And HBCUs. Because who found the most of these HBCUs? And see, and the thing is that
the HBCUs might be worse though. That was like, we don't even want y'all around us. Just go over here.
Craziest part. You bring up the word HBCU, and a lot of people out there who try to speak on them don't even know, more than 2 or 3 of them. Howard is always going to be like either the first name you hear, or it's definitely going to be in the mix if somebody try to rattle off a few. Howard is named after a white dude. Crazy.
I never even thought about that.
Oh yeah.
It's even worse.
Never thought about that.
They don't call it an HBCU, and we couldn't even get it named after a black dude. Like,
Howard is named after a white guy that stole money from a black bank. That's even worse.
Hold on though.
We should be working to get that changed.
Listen, Devin B. Austin went to Howard. I went to HBCU. We all went to HBCU. They went to Howard. I went to Lincoln. I mean, I ain't got to tell you. I ain't got to tell you that's named after.
The crazy part about that, that's even crazier, Jim. At HBCUs, like if you didn't already know coming in, like cats like us who went to, the militant middle school and elementary school, if you didn't know that, HBCUs are hard pressed to teach you the real truth about Lincoln. So I can imagine being in a Lincoln classroom and they telling you that Lincoln ain't really a hero.
Lincoln
trash. I tell you why. Because they ain't getting no money because we don't have no wealth. That's why.
I'm about to say though, if we change them names, we ain't getting no money. So we gotta play America, man. Gotta play the game sometimes.
Something else also. It's like when y'all said that entertainment is a black natural resource. Here's the problem. That the only way a black person get rich in most cases is by entertainment. And who controls entertainment? It ain't us. They control it.
This America, though, Tobias, what do we control? Truth.
I was about to say, there's nothing we control.
America.
But see, here goes my bigger point.
We control the mixtape game. We control that piss.
And it goes to my point.
Execs don't even like mixtapes. They don't even like that whole thing because that's money that they not make.
And it goes to my point. They choose who they want to push. They choose those people. You are chosen, and so And the thing is, entertainment is all about being chosen. It ain't even about your talent. Because a bunch of talented rappers or singers who ain't made it. And speaking of like that whole singing thing,
it's amazing to see how much white people push an ex-crack dealer.
But you know what, though, Tobias? You said something. You said something that's real interesting, right? And I made that. You talked about like being chosen, and I know Farrakhan had a saying. He said that before Barack was elected, he was selected. But number two, I was joking about the mixtape thing, but like it's an actual deeper message behind that. We did control mixtapes, but remember when black folks started making millions of dollars of mixtapes, they literally went and changed the law. Remember they changed the law. They tried to lock up a bunch of DJs and shit.
The Napster stuff. Yeah, remember Napster?
They tried to lock up a bunch of DJs. My point in saying that is they have so much power that even if we do come up with something that we can control, they would just go and change the law.
They changed the rules of the game, and that's the point of America. Whether it's entertainment,
it's as symbolism. We can create a verb from it. They just Black Wall Street everything we do.
It's similar to Rich Paul. They did a Rich Paul the mixtape game. They mixtape Rich Paul the mixtape game.
If we make anything that we control, we build a sandcastle, they're gonna come trample that joint. They're gonna come run over it. Like that's how it is, man. It's America. We can keep begging, but policy, I don't know. It's like policy to me at this point just kind of seems like a pipe dream. Like seriously, we can't even get candidates we can't even get serious candidates to admit to a black agenda. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why. That's
and
why.
Shout out
Dr.
to Tobias. He dropped off.
Dr. Claude Anderson, Master probably got him. I think Tobias worked at Rock Nation.
Probably walked down the hall. Boy, Lincoln or Howard.
What he was saying in Rock Nation offices. But but that's why in Dr. Claude Anderson's book Powernomics, it lays it out. In order to even move anything politically, you got to have the economic base because politicians listen to who puts them in office.
That's a perfect example of someone I don't agree with all of his stuff, and I disagree vehemently with something. But when he says that, he's 1,000,000% correct. And he gave an example, I believe, of the Asian communities, no more than one, because it's not just a group. The Asians don't vote historically, but they buy policy. Their lobbyists, their special interest is amazing. Like they have strong special interest, and they tell their people, we don't have to vote. We just buy the policy that we want and need. Economics.
That's definitely an example that he uses. He always talks about that. The Asians they vote the least amount of anyone. But the fact is they have an economic base to the point where any city you go into, there's a Chinatown, and they work with each other. They practice cooperative economics unlike anybody else. And when it comes to policy, they just buy it. Like they literally own politicians. Because at the end of the day, when you talk about a politician, they have to roll with who got them to the party.
Yeah, so, as a politician, you ask a politician to be honest and say, "Yo, dog, what you rather have, a vote or campaign finance?"
Yeah, we need to pool our.
I have literally seen it.
Build some Negro towns.
I have literally seen it. I tell people all the time, man. We've had black politicians run the city of Philadelphia since the early '80s, and we still ain't got nothing.
And you can't
because
tell.
The fact of the matter is, they run the city. They run the city, but how do they get there? We don't put them there. We come out and vote for them, man. We getting way too deep. But the bottom line is, we effed up, and then Jay-Z is your fault. No.
to bring it all up and wrap it in a bow. All right, because we.
But I want to see. Let's see what comes from this, man. Let's see what comes from this, man. And shout out to Nessa, though. Shout out to Nessa for her keeping that same energy, whether she's right or wrong.
Yeah, and we want to give our quote of the week, and that is from Nessa. And if you don't know who Nessa is, then you really haven't been following this whole situation since it started 2-3 years ago. Nessa is the girlfriend of Colin Kaepernick. Nessa is also the mouthpiece of Colin Kaepernick because, like we always say, like we've had Cap's back from day one, but like even if you want to follow somebody, if you want to use the word follow, like we really don't even know what the hell he wants from us because Cap never says anything. But Nessa does, and every time somebody comes out and she disagrees with it, she definitely lets you know. And the quote of the week is about Jay-Z's partnership with the NFL, and she said, quote, "The disappointment in Jay-Z isn't in the partnership. The disappointment is wrapping it in social justice." She went on to expound on that. So what it sounds like she said to me when I read the explanation of it is, it sounds like not that she doesn't believe that there aren't going to be any social justice components to this, but I think she believes, and which I might believe a little bit myself, that it's going to be forced because that is the component it's going to resonate with the people that's most forgiving. Well, he's coming in for some action, so it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Let him do it. Now, if they don't announce that part and they just say, Jay-Z's getting that bag, maybe more people would be in line to slander him. He's still Jay-Z, and, the whole hive and the beehive still, can't be touched. But there might be more people out there that's willing to be a little more honest and objective about it. So she basically doesn't like that they're doing it under the guise of social media. And I mentioned that, not social media, social justice, but I mentioned that to you guys several times during the conversation. Because of that, I think Jay is getting off a little bit easier for the people who have an issue with him, because the conversation, the narrative has been primarily focused on the social justice component of the whole thing, and not a lot of people are talking about the bag grab. So, I think he has to follow through. He has to do something major, on that side of things.
I'm gonna quote something that you once said: "Activism, or what you're giving, can only be weighed by what you're willing to risk and what you're giving up." I believe you said that. And when you look at what Jay-Z is trading off, he's actually trading off having to give up much by doing the partnership with his activism, which means he's able to market on activism.
Yeah, I mean, Jay ain't giving up nothing but a couple of fans that were the people who were most objective about him anyway. The sycophants ain't going nowhere. So the people that's keeping him rich at this point are still with him. So they don't care.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, 444 still was fire, though.
Oh, yeah. 444 was like 5 fire emojis. Stat of the week. It's not really, well, it's the stat of the week are basically potential stats. LeBron James going into his 17th season. He has the potential to reach several career milestones in the 2019-2020 season. He needs 1,100 points to surpass Kobe Bryant for third on the all-time scoring list. Health considered, that should be pretty easy. He needs 355 field goals made to pass Michael Jordan for fourth all-time. He needs 305 assists to pass Gary Payton for ninth all-time. And he needs 2,402 minutes to pass Kobe Bryant for eighth all-time. These are all milestones that are reachable in this upcoming season if he stays healthy. And we have some news. It was breaking a little bit earlier. Speaking of staying healthy and speaking of the Lakers, DeMarcus Cousins has been diagnosed with a torn ACL, which he sustained in a workout earlier this week. I believe he was in Vegas. Yo, your man can't catch a break. Shout out to Skyview. He said that in the chat room. He definitely can't catch a break. He obviously can catch some tears. But shout out to him, man. Hopefully a speedy recovery. You know what? Because, when we talked about the Lakers and the fact that, LeBron, I think they built a pretty good roster around him, all things considered. And I thought this was going to be the sleeper move right here. I was like, if they could get a Boogie on the cheap a year out from that Achilles injury and, closer to what he used to be than he was in Golden State, I don't know. I think, if you believed in Boogie like that, which I think I might have, that could have been what put you over the top as far as making the Lakers title favorites. I don't know now.
I mean, it's still.
We're going to talk about that before the
sleeper
season.
Pick.
I don't know now.
It's still a sleeper pick. It's just going to stay asleep. It ain't going to wake up.
Yeah, but then Right. I mean, and of course he don't have a long-term contract, so he's gonna be starting over again if this not it for him. He's gonna have to start over again. Because I'm thinking, even if the Lakers had long-term rights to him, like, again, you would have to go through the year without playing. Then you have to go through that year of playing where you're still playing fresh off an injury. You know, people usually don't come back until that, you know, that next year. But how many times are we going to keep pushing back Boogie's timeline?
Is it the same? Is it the same ACL or is it his other ACL?
Oh, is it the same leg with the Achilles? Is what you're asking?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. That's something I will look that up as we talk. But
I just wonder.
Let's say it is. What's your thought on that? Or not?
I mean, no, I just wonder because sometimes you overcompensate on one side or the other based upon like what happened previously. Like,
okay. No, I thought you were getting to a point. I thought you were about to say something like, you know, if it's the same leg, then just go ahead and throw the whole leg away.
Yeah, I was thinking, but no, that's where I was leading to. Like, I don't know at this point, like whether his career, like, are we talking a career thing where, dog, just take your bread and like, you know, go play poker.
The thing is,
like, I don't know.
Boog was never the most athletic dude in the room, but that's true. The crazy part about that is that was even getting pushed out. Like, if Boogie was fully healthy, the type of player he was, besides the fact that he could step out and hit a three, everything else about him is kind of getting phased out in the world of centers in the NBA. So now, even less athletic Boogie, coming off all these leg injuries, you know, it's going to be hard for him to make his way, especially because he doesn't have a long-term deal, man.
Yo,
he's going to be in that conversation. That Grant Hill, T-Mac, Derrick Rose conversation. He's about to be in it.
Yo, speaking of that, Devin, I know we put way too much stock in the summer footage, but did y'all see the summer games that Big Josh playing in?
That who playing?
Yo, Big Ja from Duke, Jahlil Okafor.
Oh yeah. Ja out there chopping people up.
He playing on the wing now. My man out there looking like I'm like, yo, where Big Ja get this from? I guess he realized like, yo, that back to the basket is dead.
Right. He on his Blake Griffin right now. He like, look, Blake did it.
Yeah, I'm like, I
was never the athlete Blake was, but Blake was a back to the basket player. He's no longer that.
I was watching it. I'm like, look at Big Ja carrying like hands on the rock, chopping people up, pulling up for Jays. I was like, he must have realized that his game didn't fit this currently.
He's been putting that work in. He wants to keep a job. I was going to say the one thing that Boogie has, and it certainly won't elevate him to previous stature, but he is a hell of a passer. And for the right team, you can put him at the elbow and cut off of him and allow him to hit that little mid-range jumper. I think he'll always be able to get a job.
He was on the right team for that.
He gonna be.
But they gave up on him.
Sabonis.
He was on the right team for that in Golden State.
Yo, remember Arvydas Sabonis could barely move when he was playing for Portland, and he still was putting up numbers,
giving out dimes. Arvydas, he was one of them.
He was nice.
We wish y'all would have saw him back when. So I guess we could put him on the list too.
Yo, he could barely move.
We could put Arvydas on the Penny Grant Hill list because it's like, what if we saw him before he was broken down?
We are hyperbole. We are hyperbole kings, but when you say Arvydas Sabonis could literally not move, yo, when I used to watch him, it looked like he had cinder blocks. It looked like he had cinder blocks.
He was so slow.
And I couldn't understand how he would end up with like 19, 7, and 7 because I'm like, yo, he can't make it up and down the.
I mean,
very skilled.
He definitely has cinder blocks for feet, but then add on the fact that he had like a deep freezer for a head. Like the ball was just limited in his movement.
But I remember Shaq saying that even though the ball was slow, Shaq said that was like one of the strongest players he played against. He said Bull was like strong like a ox, like he just like push you out the paint, like.
Because when he planted his feet on the floor, like they literally dug in and made footprints.
Yo, not your Vetus, not his Vetus. Pause.
Yo, that boy had a refrigerator head.
Yeah, rest in peace to
all
his
right, so y'all can, as usual, you know the deal. Y'all can check out our website, at any time at warroomsports.com. Just take your time, look around that. If y'all want to hit us on the email, hit us info@warroomsports.com. You know, we take all kinds of communications about joining the network, sponsorship, advertising, all that kind of stuff. Hit us up there. If you want to get in the conversations this evening, you can join the JW Philly Realty chat room at blogtalkradio.com/The War Room. Or you can give us a call, 323-410-0012. Just press 1 when prompted. If you're already listening from your phone, just press 1 if you want to talk. And we're just going to blow through some grind topics real quick for you guys so we can get to some more interesting stuff that we got to talk about later about, you know, a couple of NBA topics. So what's going on? What happened this week, Tim? What's the crazy
Well, real
story?
quick, while you were on the grind is brought to you by Sports the Book, the best sports book ever written. That's just the bottom line. And you can get that at sportsthebook.com or warroomsports.com, but do not miss it. But it's time to talk about what happened while you were on the grind. Now, did you guys see this where the college quarterback got arrested because the police thought my man had cocaine on the hood of his car, but it was actually bird poop?
Yo, you know what I don't like about this story? I don't like the fact that it's being reported as, just a all-out mistake. First of all, like, why is there going to be cocaine on the hood of your car? Like, seriously. What y'all, you was chilling up at one of them romantic points with your girl, and y'all just put a line on the car, and like what are we doing here? So
I'm not even.
Here's how the story goes. Go ahead, B. Then I'll tell you how the story goes.
I gotta give, like, we make fun of cops a lot, and I will admit they got a tough job. It's tough being a race soldier. I'm like, listen,
tough being a cop in Philly yesterday.
How is it that a professional law enforcement officer would mistake bird poop for cocaine?
Probably his first day off the desk. Probably just got out the academy, never seen coke in his life.
It was like 3 of them, though. It was like, it's a call that has a black male involved. So they called like 5 or 6. You mean to tell me a half a dozen white male officers mistake bird poop for cocaine? Yo, man. Never mind if you're racist. Never mind if you thought, I have more respect for you if you say, yeah, I was racially profiled. I respect that. I mean, I understand. That's what y'all do. But you mean to tell me that you're just as dumb as Billy Bob Hickapoo up in the you really went for bird poop as cocaine? Come on, man.
Let me read the story real quick since we've gone through these topics. Shai Werts, he's a Georgia Southern quarterback. He was pulled over on July 31st in Clinton, South Carolina, because the officers said he was speeding. You know how they got to find something to pull us over for. During the stop, the police placed the 21-year-old in the back of the patrol car while they searched his vehicle. More details that need to be questioned. He's pulled over for speeding. Why are you searching his vehicle? Starting around the 5:10 mark in the video that you can find online, that's when they show the cops looking closely at the hood of his car. They shined a flashlight on it. Then they allegedly said they found a white substance. So they went back to the car, asked him, "What's the white stuff on the front of your hood?" He quickly responded, "Bird." The officer didn't believe him, repeated it again and again, that the substance doesn't look like bird poop. Then listen to this. And that it was tested positive for a controlled substance. At what point did they run a test on this bird poop? So we're pulling him over for speeding, quote unquote. Then we're searching his car. Then we're trying to, say that bird poop, whether you knew what it was or not, you're trying to say that you found cocaine, but while you're trying to browbeat the man, told him that it tested positive for a substance. When the hell did you test the bird poop? And which one of y'all touched it?
I'm losing my mind. Trouble
this is
with
my
the
point.
law.
Like, I don't like how the story is being reported because no one who's written an article about this, I'm not going to say no one because I haven't seen all of them, but the articles that I've read about this, nobody's questioning those points that we're making right here. Why are you searching his car?
Cocaine.
Why are you lying, talking about you tested
cocaine? Yo, the cops are drawing.
Cops be bugging, man.
The cops is just drawing. I just want to shout the voice because cocaine is fire. That song, by the way. But yo, this whole story is just like, this whole story is nothing but bird poop. Don't even ask how. I don't think there's anything else we can say. I don't even think there's anything else we can say about the story. It's rubbish, man. Like, y'all gotta do better than that, man. Y'all cops gotta do better. Like, y'all gotta come up with better lives.
Yeah. Or just go back to the point of, like, you're black and I'm going to disrespect you because you're black. Just be real with it. But y'all lies.
Listen, we can accept. Listen, if there's any officers listening, man. Listen, we can accept that you are either fearful of us, don't like us, criminalize us. Just keep it 100. If you pull me over and you tell me that you think bird poop on the hood of my car is cocaine, I'm going to laugh at you. And then you're going to shoot me. But now you're going to shoot me. You're going to
shoot me. Trouble with the law.
Why you shot me when I was laughing?
Real quick. Because we got to move on, man. We got to talk about Michael Porter Jr., man. And this is the problem. This is 2019, man. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag new Agans, as who would say new Agans, man. My man is oversharing on social media and they shared the Commissioner Adam Silver's phone number. I don't know if any of y'all got it.
Not one, though. But his email address, his office number, and his cell number. Share them all. And I'm going to call him. I'm going to call him. At least I'm emailing.
I hope some of y'all IG and Snapchat thoughts, like some of y'all with y'all OnlyFans pages, I hope some of y'all picked up the commissioner's number and called him because, you know what I'm saying? But, what's wrong with these new generation, man? They gotta understand, man, everything ain't meant to be shared, man.
Yeah, this man put a photo on Snapchat. It's interesting enough that Adam Silver actually gives out this personal information to all the players. Because, I'd have a little issue. I'd be a little skeptical of giving all these dudes my number. But
that's probably a strap phone anyway.
He's standing on the stage next to 3D. Dennis, what's his last name? Dennis Scott. So it must be some kind of like rookie symposium or something like that, where even though Michael Porter Jr. is no longer a rookie, but I guess he is because he hasn't played yet. He has his email address, his office number, and his cell number. And these dudes are snapping photos of it and putting it on social media. Like,
he gave him the trap phone anyway. He didn't give him the real number.
Yeah.
He gave him the number just so he could tell that people, like, all my players have my number. It's an open door policy. Like, that ain't the real number though. That ain't the number. That ain't the number. That ain't the phone he used when he trying to get in touch with Jeffrey Epstein. Never mind.
Right. That's the thing. When this phone rings, then he has to know exactly who it is. You stupid. He probably know, all right, well, this can only be an NBA player, so let me go ahead and let this go to voicemail. But yeah.
He gave him the Boost mobile number.
Commissioner, where you at?
He gave him the trap phone. Anyway, man, Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball has a new tat sleeve which made news. It's a revolutionary tat sleeve. My man got like all sorts of black icons on his arm. The artwork was fire though. At least the tattoo artist did a fire job though.
Shout out to the tattoo artist because I've seen plenty of people, even wealthy people with tattoos that look like somebody did it with a hot butter knife in jail.
Dog. Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant is arguably a top 7 to 10 basketball player to ever play, and his tattoos look like they were done by Stevie Wonder.
Yo.
And your man, Mike Scott. Mike Scott got like emojis and stuff on his John. That's terrible. I ain't gonna sit here and act like the joints are the greatest ever because
What's the bull from Last Chance U? The bull from
I ain't
Last
got money
Chance
to
U.
be calling the line of those guys.
The bull from Last Chance U got the worst tattoos in the country though. What's the boy name from Last Chance U, Dev? The boy who had his tattoo artist on there, and I don't know why boy came on John.
Oh God, that was nothing to be bragging about. Yeah, my tat artist come wherever I am. You need to leave.
I'm like,
Boom.
your tat artist is boo boo.
Leave me. Yo, tell that boy to stop scratching stuff in your arm with safety pins, man. But if anybody hasn't seen this, because we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, if you haven't seen it, go to our Facebook page, the War Room Sports Facebook page. Scroll a little bit, but it's on there. These tattoos that Lonzo Ball has on his arm are amazing. I don't know if Lonzo Ball is that person, though. Like, he got a revolutionary arm sleeve at this point. But is he really that guy, or is he just trying to,
his mom's
the climate right now?
His mom's family is going to have them removed. Trust me.
Not his mom's family. Not his mom's family. His dad doesn't like tattoos. LeVar
dad doesn't
Ball
like black women.
hates tattoos, and when he got his first one, and it was on their show when Jello got his, and it was a whole big thing of he had it for days before he even. I don't even think he told LeVar. Somebody else told him, and it was a big thing. He hates tattoos. So I think when they do this now, they're rebelling against this dude. They all have tattoos.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you think it's part of like more of his rebelling against his pop at this point?
I absolutely believe it. You go from your dad not wanting you guys to get any tattoos to have the whole civil rights movement on your arm, like there's nothing left of your arm. And for those who haven't seen it, he has Rosa Parks portraits, and these are damn good portraits. These portraits look just like.
The portrait is fire, though. I'll give him that. The portrait is fire, yo. And I was going to say shout out to Papa Chuck for like
Jackie Robinson, Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman, Barack Obama, and Martin Luther King Jr. It's crazy detail in these portraits, and at the top of it all, he has the words "The marathon continues." So Saint Nip even got a shout out in there.
Yeah. Yo, all I want to say is, man, like, this whole thing is crazy, man, because that tattoo is absolutely, like, the artwork on there is absolutely brilliant.
So, Jeff.
But I think it is, yeah.
No, I was about to ask you. So now that he got those particular tattoos in his arm, he got to kneel during the anthem now, right?
Yo. He don't want no parts of that. He don't want no parts of that.
Meal.
My man is going.
Like, what y'all want from me? I got everybody from the civil rights movement that y'all know on my arm. He got like
what
the
do
big
you
five.
Want from me?
He got the big five on his arm. Martin, Malcolm,
my man just impressive.
And Harriet. He got the big five.
Just trying to impress a Jenner.
I don't know about that. I don't know about not with those faces on there.
I'm about to say, he might be trying to get black chicks now.
Who knows what's going on? He just basically rebelling against his pop, and he's doing it in front of like the national spotlight. But at least he got a good tattoo artist though, cuz I give him that. But he shout out to Lonzo, man. He's New Orleans' problem at this point. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what happens down there.
Problem.
They whole clan, that's their problem at this point. Speaking of problem, man, did y'all see your man Sebastian Telfair got 3 years on weapons charges and was in the courtroom quoting Tupac and crying and screaming at the judge? Did y'all see that?
I didn't see it, man. I read the story.
Yeah, it was kind of sad to watch. He like had a breakdown.
Yeah, this is one of those guys, man. Not that he didn't have any success, but he was one of them dudes who was on Sports Illustrated as like a sophomore in high school. He was supposed to be Stefan to the 10th power.
To the 10th power. I don't know this to be fact, and I pray that it's not true, but he strikes me as the type of guy that ain't got no bread at the end of all of this. There's something about him that makes me believe that his net worth is under $100,000.
Damn.
I could be wrong, and I hope I am.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what his net worth is, man, but this was a sad scene to watch, man. And I got a bigger question to you dudes, man. Like, are New York point guards overrated? Because New York point guards are always getting this praise, like, and it's a thing called New York point guard. Like, he's a New York point guard. Like, I know Mark Jackson was that guy. Mark Jackson is probably a top 5 to 10 all time. But, and you can go back. Isn't Tiny Archibald from New York too?
Yes, he is.
But I know that like Seabad,
Overall-
a lot of guys in our era that were supposed to be like the next up and coming New York point
Yeah.
guard, they didn't really like live up to the expectations.
You know what it is? They focus
The
on
hype got too
developing.
wild.
The hype got them. The hype got them. The hype train got them. And then they focus on developing certain areas of their game that don't translate to the next level, and they're not putting the work in because from the gate, as soon as they hit high school, they're celebrated as if they already made it. So that work ethic isn't always there.
Yeah. I mean, although I
definitely
do
a big
believe in my heart of hearts that Steph was underrated as a point guard in the NBA.
Of course.
I do believe.
I believe so too.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
so-
even. I think it stemmed from the narrative that just got pushed in front of him. Like Steph got this narrative that he was a loser and he didn't care. And
But I also feel like if Steph didn't come around, if Steph didn't come around the same time that Bubba Chuck came around, he might be looked at different too. Because
I heard people
they used to always try to compare. They used to always try to compare them to, and AI is just from another planet. And
right.
Steph was good, but he wasn't that.
And the crazy part is for their first 2 seasons, even though I was a Sixers fan, I thought Steph was better because I always for the first 2 seasons, I would always point to his work ethic. Like for the first 2 or 3 seasons, so like his first 2 off seasons, he always came back with something new. And I was noticing, I was like, well, Allen Iverson, he never really comes back with something new to his game. But then you realize later he's just that damn good. He doesn't have to, and he can.
Yeah, he's from Krypton. He don't have to. Yo, and by the way, salute the Bubba Chuck anyway, man. Because going back to our last story, he made tattoos like normal. Because before Bubba Chuck, like you had to be a weirdo like Rodman. Like, do you guys remember when tattoos like you were looked at as being like just straight weird for having them?
Rodman.
Now you look weird if you don't have them.
Cats would have 1 or 2, and they would be small and out of the way. And then your man Bubba Chuck came in the league looking like a Russian mobster, and it was on from there.
Hey, let me
He definitely look like he sipped vodka, yo.
Let me give some quick birthday shout. I'm gonna give some birthday shout outs. I'm gonna read a couple messages from the chat rooms and social media, and then we can get into our last segment. We also got a couple more phone calls on the line that we need to get to. But birthday shout outs, man. Shout out to Yancey Thigpen, former receiver, Pittsburgh Steelers. Yancey Thigpen is 50 years old. Like, damn, where's the time going? Shout out to Yancey.
Jimmy and Deb, y'all old, yo.
Birthday shout out to the boy Eric Public Bieniemy, who turns 50 years old as well. Man, Pittsburgh dudes, Bubby Brister is 57 years old.
He really was trash.
His name,
Gary
name is
Kubiak.
Bubby.
Gary Kubiak, who was Jimmy's former backup quarterback in Denver, turned head coach, turned Super Bowl champion. Shout out to him. He's 58 years old. And a nice rest in peace shout out to Gene Upshaw, who was born August 15th, 1945, and he passed August 20th, 2008. Also, birthday shout out this week, tomorrow to be exact, on the 16th, to one of our favorite supporters in the chat room every week. Shout out to Neil. Happy birthday to you.
Neil was really good.
Give everybody a War Room salute on their birthdays.
Yo,
Happy birthday to you.
You can't be 57. You can't be like
we got another
57
birthday.
now. He still can't go by Bubby, can he?
Bubby, we got another birthday, man. We got another birthday, man. Birthday shout out to Crippin' Nip, Nipsey Hussle, Community Revolution.
Last time that I checked.
Neighborhood. Yo, I've seen Nipsey pop up people's top 50 rap lists this week.
They tripping.
Yo, Neighborhood Nip.
Real talk. I've seen it from cats that I know for a fact, Jimmy, had never heard a Nipsey bar until the day he died. Until the day he died. He's in there.
Listen, man.
It makes me angry because I like Nip. I thought Nip had bars, but Nip ain't even in the top 500. Come on, man. What are y'all doing?
Yo, here's the thing, right? Like,
Yo, that was Nip's first album, though.
Rappers get.
You had your first album like 3 days before you died. Come on.
Yo, Jaden Styles told you dead rappers get better promotion, but it's crazy, yo, because I was actually listening to his album like this past week, and he has a bar on one of them songs where he talks about like getting shot before, and he says that, oh, well, at least if I go, I'll finally get my just due. Like, he actually says it in the song. It's like, yo, that's crazy. Like, I never paid attention to the bar until like this past week, as I was listening to it. I was like, yo, what did you say? Rewinded it like, oh, he damn sure said that.
I banged with Nip. Nip had bars, and he probably would have developed as a lyricist. But come on, y'all need to relax.
Nip didn't even really rap though. Nip gave TED Talks over beats. Like, Nip was out here just like, you know.
Damn sure did.
Shout out to
Gillian. He wasn't even trying to be the
game over a beat.
He wasn't even trying to be mimic. He wasn't even trying to be a nice lyricist. My man was just trying to, like, you know, give inspiration, hustle and motivate.
Hey,
but anyway, man.
So about the New York
Nip.
point guard thing, Skyview said, I played on both coasts. Definitely a difference in point guard play. Kenny Anderson is probably the most underrated of them all, and I don't think you would get
Kenny G.
I don't think you would get disagreement from anybody on this panel. Kenny Anderson was that dude. He also, back to the police officer conversation, he said there needs to be mandated law that police officers be paired with a member of a different race after they've gone through a psychiatric screen. They can call it.
I agree with you.
R.I.P. Alton.
I agree with the psychiatric screen.
But usually when you pair up a black cop with a white cop, shout out to Q.
They don't work.
Black cop showing out for the white cop.
Yo,
I was getting ready to play that bar.
That's all those partnerships come from.
Hold my bar.
There were more black slave catchers than white slave catchers. Keep it 100.
We sick, boss.
Drop of the gun line. Gun line, boss.
That's what happens in those situations. Casey Mack in the War Room Sports Game Time group. Back to DeMarcus Cousins. He said Cousins probably tore his ACL when he was hooping in sandals the other day. Probably happened. That kind of stuff can happen. He also said Marbury is the last decent point guard. I got to think on that one. I don't know if it was Marbury.
I don't know who else came after Marbury. I know that Telfair, like a lot of people came after him, but I don't know.
We're just going to use the word decent. They've had decent ones. Marbury was probably the last star. You know what I mean? Starberry was a star. I don't care what anybody says. Starberry was that dude for a while.
I put him in the hall. Joe Dumars in the hall.
Let me ask you a question, though. Who's the greatest New York point guard of all time?
Archibald.
Mark Jackson?
Rod the God. That's the pick that, you know, people that like. I'm not going to call him. Rod never had superstar status.
Yeah, we the only one. We would support Rod the God as that pick, but most people looking in wouldn't understand why you selected Rod the God.
You think Rod the God is better than Mark Jackson?
Probably not better, but I would take him over Mark.
I understand Mark's greatness, but Mark wasn't really the type of dude that, like, if I'm making a team, I'm not really going after a Mark Jackson.
I don't care about Mark Jackson. I think he's great, but yeah, I didn't get excited when I saw Mark Jackson. I didn't think, yo, let me go out to the playground and let me do that. What he did.
That's right. Mark was just a get it done point guard. He wasn't, he didn't have too much flash. He didn't have any athleticism. He couldn't shoot a free throw. I mean, he could shoot one, but he had that dumb thing where he measured it up.
Jimmy. Mark Jackson was the best player in his family. The other dude scoring you.
I found a list, right? I found a list from Max Preps, the top 10 point guards from New York, and it combines like what they did in high school, college, pros, the whole nine. Number 10, it has Larry Brown. I forgot he was from NY. Number 9, it got Nate Archibald.
Larry Brown and 10, they being real.
Number 8. Number 8 is. But remember, they're taking all their stuff, taking high school, college, and pros. Number 8 is Lenny Wilkins.
And coaching? Still.
Yo, Lenny Wilkens actually played ball back in the day. But anyway,
No, not Lenny. I'm talking about Larry Brown when I say and coaching. Like, come on, Larry.
Oh, they probably
they added
Mark Jackson. They have Mark Jackson all the way down at number 7.
Yeah,
Number 6,
you got
they
Larry
got
at
Kenny
10 and
Jet
Mark at
Smith.
7. Now you disrespecting Mark. Go ahead.
They
Where's
got Kenny the
Shamgar?
Jet Smith at 6. They got Kenny the Jet Smith at 6. They got Pearl
He should be
Washington at
11.
5.
Ooh, I forgot about Pearl.
Washington at 5. Number 4, they got Bob Cousy. Number 3, they got Starbury. Number 2, they actually have Sebastian Telfair, and it says mostly because of what he did at Lincoln High School in Brooklyn.
He must
was
have
really
been
that dude in high school.
I was about to say, if that's going to springboard you all the way up to 2, they trying.
They said because he's the all-time leading scorer in New York. Damn, he was yo.
That's a big deal.
Yo, my man, through 4 years of high school, my man averaged 33 and 9. Yo, but
I mean, plus they got like 643 high school, and they all got numbers.
Yeah,
PS 643.
He's number 1, but number 1 overall is Kenny Anderson.
Kenny G.
I agree. I agree with number 1.
Yo,
but number 2,
they put Kenny there because of what he did to Bobby Hurley. What he did to the coach.
Yeah. I also didn't realize that Kenny had a 16-year career in the pros.
Damn, Kenny.
I knew that.
Still broke.
No money. And didn't save no money.
Yeah, let's go to the phone line real quick, man. We got the homie Naj on. We ain't talked to him in a couple of weeks. Oh, maybe y'all did last week. I'm not sure. Naj, what's up, man?
What up, homie?
Man? Oh, cool. What up, y'all? What up? Hey,
yo, Naj, why can't he have no money? Yo?
Who, Kenny G?
What's that?
Why Kenny Anderson didn't save no money, yo?
Hey, Kenny was one of the most flagrant at it, too. If y'all remember during the lockout, he's the one that said, I got bills to pay. I can't be missing checks, if y'all remember that. So workout, like,
I mean, Kenny was living check to
among
check.
the workforce. If you got one dude on camera saying that, y'all in trouble as far as that negotiation. But, yeah, that's Kenny, bro.
Pretty much.
But let me try to get into a lot of what y'all got, man, because y'all got so much good stuff today. Like, bro, okay, first thing first, the tattoo. Like, no shots, man, but let's stop putting Barack Obama on T-shirts and other things next to Malcolm Martin and other greats. Like, no.
You're part of the Big Five. And when I say Big Five, that just means the Big Five that's universally known. The Big Five, the five that white people know.
You could have put Ali up
there, and they can have that, but that ain't a revolution. Like, let's stop doing that.
Fred Hampton,
but you forgot. You forgot where Lonzo came from.
Yes, sir. So it's no surprise.
True.
But that takes us to the next topic, which kind of coalesce with it. The people who think representation is actual equality or actual change. Shout out to the homie Bomani Jones, who set Jay-Z and them on fire with a nice little think piece today about that whole situation. It's like, look, man, if you're saying that money is the thing that's going to fix these things and you need a partnership, seat at the table, okay, you could do that without aligning yourself with them. Just act towards the actual issue. Why the hell would you have to make this partnership to do it? Unless you're just being a shield for them to later on not do anything about this and say we got this connection to him. He said kneeling is over with. So I use Ho's own lyrics against him. What you eat don't make me ish. So please, stay out of certain topics, Ho. We've seen this at Barney. We've seen this at the Brooklyn.
Yeah, because he already told them, you know, we don't need you. We fill stadiums too, something like that. And then let me get up in here with that.
He's a black friend, right? You know how you say, I can't be racist. I got a black friend. He's that person. We can't be racist. We got Jay-Z.
In certain situations. Right. That's just hilarious. And the other thing, y'all talked about the brother down there that got pulled over and they said the bird poop was cocaine. Man, y'all pull up this story the Times ran this week about these field drug tests. Not only are these things inaccurate, they're not even close to being like something that you can really use in order to incarcerate somebody.
I mean, what are they using? Pregnancy tests or something? Like, what are they doing?
They're using these like $2 field kits, and the thing is supposed to turn blue if the substance is there. Problem is, there's like 80 other substances that make it turn blue. So they just go ahead and take it on the chin that, okay, sometimes we're going to get a false positive, and that person will have to work it out over the weekend while you're locked up and all of that. So, dude, look into that story, man. It's crazy. I didn't know these field tests were that inaccurate. But, yeah, check that one out, man. And to all the fans out here, man, look, when you hear dollar figures, that is a leak from ownership. When you hear about milestones, that is a leak from the players. So when y'all heard about Dak turning down, that Negro turned down $30 million. That's supposed to get the fans on the team side, and then eventually he'll cave on negotiations. Like,
get everybody riled up against Dak. Right.
$30 million for Dak Prescott. It's like, okay, we're talking about football money, so it's already ridiculous. Dak ain't going to see the money and the length of that contract. We know this. Ask Mike Vick about his $100 million. Like, that's not how that works.
Right.
He'll get some deal that he will never see the full life of. But you got people out here really going at that man. And I will say he is an average quarterback, but when you give Kirk Cousins 89, this is what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You reset the market.
Yeah. You got to pay.
I could imagine every quarterback in the league, they probably got a group chat where they root for each other to get big contracts.
Right. I'm up next. I'm about to cancel. Right, because that makes sense. Like Andy Dalton out here spending all kinds of unearned wealth.
And on the group chat, they be clowning Kirk even though he's on the chat. Like, if Kirk got that. Like you got that.
They probably add him too. Like at Kirk, you got that.
That Kirk Cousins got that.
When the Redskins are in on the scam, see through the scam, you know it's a scam. Like Redskins, like, look, man, we'll franchise you a couple years, but dude, we ain't paying.
They pay everybody.
Like when they say that, Dan Snyder say that, you know that dude's a bum. Oh, and as far as New York, man, when I was young, whenever we had a game against some New York kids, on the scout report, before we knew name, number, anything,
no
forced them to shoot. Exactly. That's on the scout report. Oh, the chalkboard. I ain't talking about whiteboard. I'm talking about
they would dribble for 5 minutes,
just
back up and make them shoot the jumper.
Right, and they gotta stop bragging about this New York point guard thing. Because for one, what's the population of the state of New York? So you're gonna produce a certain amount of point guards. You got a big ass population. Let me know about a small town producing multiple NBA or NFL pros. That's something to look into. But the state of New York, like, man, come on.
Flint Town.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the hackingest, trashiest basketball town you will ever see, man. I got many a fight at Gus Macker 303 in Flint, Michigan.
No, they do. But the thing is though, like that's their badge of honor. Like, we got a close homie from Flint, and his badge of honor when we used to play is the fact that they play dirty. That that they play rough.
Ball.
That's their badge of honor right there.
They don't deny it. They're like, we hacked.
Yeah. The homie he's referring to taught me how to cheat. He taught me things I never even thought of. Yo, Dad, remember that brother used to switch pivot feet? He'd be like, I can get the rep.
He would go into a jump stop and then switch his pivot off the it was crazy. You could get away with it too.
Shout out to
we
waited too long. We got like 30 seconds, man, so we got to get out of here. We'll wrap to you next week. We'll catch you earlier.
Slammed me on my head on a recruiting visit there, just to let you know how much they hacked. That's who they are. So I got beef with them.
All right, guys.
All right, we'll wrap to you next week. Some topics we wanted to hit that didn't get to. We wanted to talk about the amended Rich Paul rule. We wanted to talk about the Brooklyn Nets and their $2.35 billion sale price, and the Clippers trolling LeBron James by hiring Ty Lue as their top assistant. Maybe we'll get to some of that next week if those stories grow legs.
Yes, sir.
But we out of here.
Time to get out of here, though. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for joining us for another briefing in the War Room. Shout to everybody in the chat room, Facebook, Twitter, the Game Time, everywhere. Listen, everywhere you hit us up from, we appreciate it. Listen, the callers that called and got through, we love y'all too. Those we couldn't get to, we apologize. But tune in next week live right here or on demand. We catch you up on everything happening around the world of sports. And until then, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the start of next week, and we'll see you right back here next time. Be sure to catch everything we do, like our Facebook, our Twitter, our blogs, webcasts, podcasts, everything can be found at the hub, which is warroomsports.com. Also, pick up my book, Sports the Book, at sportsthebook.com or warroomsports.com. But until next time, everybody, don't accept mediocrity. Be steadfast in the war against ignorance. We'll see you chumps on top. Shot the nip.
6 to 8. Yeah. War Room Sports. Y'all ready? Let's go. Stay in tune to Jimmy. Know the blueprint. Yo. Every Thursday, 6 to 8, they do this. Shout out to Dev, PJ, B. Austin, Doc Bay on replay. WarRoomSports.com. Get that mobile app. If not, dial 323-140012. They be going and you sensitive, then oh well. Physical podcast, let's talk sports. Showtime like magic in the block push. Listen live, push one to join in. Rip your team or listen for your enjoyment. Hip hop scholars, pit stop and knowledge. Should be in sports credits, I ain't talking college. 5 guys, no beef though. Corporate secret, but the streets know. Belafonte, I got a G flow. KC royalty, I'm in beast mode. 2 hours, get your game up. Who's the best in sportscast? You better name us. War Room Sports. Yeah, you know, Jimmy, Dev, PJ, Doc Beck, B. Austin. I'm Jock. Up and coming on the beat.
War Room Sports. www.warroomsports.com. What? Ain't no more to it.